What a place to go. I love it. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. We're going to miss you. We're going to miss you so much. But can't wait to have a place.
I don't have a bedroom for Karen.
Yeah, well, that's sad news. But I'm glad you already bought a house. Yeah, really. It's amazing. I mean, no. And what's it like?
It has to be built here.
Oh. Has to be built yet. Oh, okay. Well then, here's how I like my room. I would, if you're going to design it next. That's great. That's great. All right. So today I'm not going to talk about what I did last week. I don't want to do that one week. I mean, we could go on and we could talk about that and forever. Well, we were talking about the difference between the NIV and the King James Version. Walt, what version do you read? NIV. Your NIV? Are you an NIV person too? Okay. And so what we were talking about is how evil that Bible is. No, I mean, about it's based on different texts, a different set of texts that came from Alexandria rather than the Textus Receptus, which is the ones that were used for the King James Version. And so we were just so that we would have some ideas about that. And I don't want it to be divisive here, folks, and she's right. Read your Bible. Read your Bible. And I forgot to do this. I was going to do this. I was going to pass out. I have this like 15-page sheet where the NIV leaves out stuff that's in the other one. And I thought, well, hey, go ahead, read your NIV, and then just write this stuff in. And then you'll look like you're so smart. Well, the Textus Receptus, however, adds this in this portion of the text. That'd be a cool thing. You use your, well, maybe not. All right, you're not excited about that, but I thought maybe that'd be a good idea. I just thought I'd get a King James Version and just use that, but I haven't done it yet. We're going to do it at some point. So anyway, we just got through in this group for months talking about a very monumental book, the Book of Job, a long book. I mean, a book that just we struggled to get through it. There's 30, 41, 42 chapters in it. We went through that whole monumental book of Job, and it had been suggested by some of the people that knew what they were talking about, not me, that it's perhaps true that Job was the first book written in the Old Testament. It could have been the oldest. Did I say New Testament?
Old Testament.
Yeah, okay. It could be the oldest book in the Old Testament. Could be. I mean, there are some that think that, and that even the book of Genesis was written by Moses later on, and it could be that Moses may have been the editor for the book of Job, but he may have written that one even before he wrote Genesis. I mean, that book could have been around, the first one. So if we're talking about, if we've spent months and months in the oldest book of the Old Testament, I thought maybe we ought to go to the first book of the Old Testament. Now we ought to go to the last book of the Old Testament. And so, with your permission, I'd like to spend a little time in the book of Malachi, or if you're Italian, Malachi, the first Italian prophet. So Vince. Anyway, the book of Malachi. So that's what we're going to talk about. So we're going from Job to Malachi. I want to spend just a little bit of time in there. And one of the reasons I wanted to spend a little time in Malachi was because many of you are involved in People of the Word. How many of you are in People of the Word? This is, I mean, this is, nearly half the class is in People of the Word. And so we've been studying the book of Nehemiah in that class. And we just finished up Nehemiah last Thursday in lectures that were done in the study that meets in the morning and in the study that meets in the evening. And so I was privileged to do the lecture on the last 3 chapters of Nehemiah. And as I was reading and as I was studying, I came across something that I hadn't realized before. And so just because I'm, you know me, I like timelines, I always ask you how many of you consider yourselves historians, and then you don't put up your hand, and then I nail you, because of course you're historians. If you like to study the Bible, the Bible is a book of history. And so I want to talk a little bit about Malachi. And so I started searching for timelines. Some of them are more useful than others. This is an interesting timeline that talks about, I thought, well, people are really smart to be able to do this. But unfortunately, not something I'm going to be able to really get excited about. But I love this guy. I could have bought this and downloaded it for $12.50 and then tried to print it out, but there's no way I can print something out that big. I'd love to do it. By the way, could you let's get these things passed out. Roxanne, would you mind telling about the blessing when you're done eating? About the blessing of the fact that I am right now able to pass out these sheets, and these are in color, and I have some more, and so the point is I'm being more liberal these days in all of my pass outs. If you'd save my pass outs, it would be a wonderful bunch of stuff, but we just throw it away, and and that's okay. While we still have paper, we can do this. But Roxanne, tell us why it is that I have these things in color. All right.
My work was getting rid of some color printers, and I had them donated for Barnabas.
Yeah. I got this color printer that it's really an ideal. It's really a.
Is it a laser one?
It's a laser, and it's more economical than the color printer than I have, and so we have that one. But not only did she give me not only did we donate a color one, I got this huge printer, this HP printer, an 8100 or something. I mean, it's designed to print telephone books, and pass. So I got that one too. The only thing I don't have in my room anymore is room. So, by the way, Walt, could you build? Maybe we could just have you have a room for the printers. I'll send the stuff and you ship it back. What do you think about that? Maybe you could do that. But anyway, I thought, this would be such a cool timeline. I like this guy already. But well, I don't know. I have his name. If you do Bible timelines, he'll come up and you'll see it, 1250. But he did it. He just has a home Bible study, and it looks like he looks like me, except wearing a tie. And so and his hair is more. Borrow what? You have something similar. Yeah. Well, I have plenty, and so, but I wanted a timeline that would be useful for my purposes for today, and so this was the timeline that I found. You're not going to see it in your sheet. I didn't print it out for you because it's pretty simple. But it goes from Adam. It goes from Adam, and it's using the time that kind of was posited by Archbishop Usher back in the 1600s when he wrote his book, The Annals of History, and so. We have Adam somewhere in around 4000 BC, and then we have the flood here about 2350, because remember there was about 1650 years from Adam's creation until the flood. 1650 years that resulted in 8 people right here. Amazing. I mean, there could have been billions of people on the earth, but they're buried now. And then we have, of course, Abraham coming on the scene at about 2000 BC. We have David at about 1002. This really isn't. It's not really to scale, but it gives us the idea. And then we have, of course, right here we have Babylon and Nebuchadnezzar. They come in, and Israel is taken captive about 606 BC. And then, of course, right here we have Jesus' birth, and then we have the beginning of the church age. And I love this. I love this because it has. Oh, it's a little bit too high. It says the rapture of the church. I don't know if I could. It says, but I love this because that's my favorite shape for the rapture. Sorry, but it's just being taken out of here because some people have the rapture like this. They go like this, where we go up to meet Jesus and he comes right down, but Jesus comes down and we go up, and then we come down with him at the second coming. You can try to get that. It's really hard because we have to raise the back. So anyway, I also like this fact too because it has 7 years of tribulation, and it just has it being somewhere between the rapture and the second coming are the 7 years of tribulation, and then of course after the 7 years of tribulation, Jesus comes back, and then we have 1,000 years and just simply eternity. God, it's going to be great. I just want you to know, folks, you're
almost there.
I've messed it up, sorry.
It's not going to work. That's all right. It's all right.